welcome back. It's Tuesday of this free Get It All Success DNA week. I want to give everybody an idea of the kind of content I try to share with my premium members all week long. And I want to chat with you today about living in the past. I mean, times have been tough. I know I was working in retail in 2008 when the bottom fell out, and I was lucky enough to be in an organization that was pretty wise in how they handled things and came out pretty well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy, but certainly we were able to make it through. And I know many of us have gone back and looked at those, wow, I wish things were like they were yesterday. I mean, so the questions become, do you struggle to rise above the life's challenges that come your way? Oh, by the way, this is Tracy Brinkmann. Tracy the Ace, bringing the ace up your sleeve. And this is, of course, Your Success DNA, brought to you by successatlas.com. And before we get on, I mean, I'm getting so ahead of myself here. I just want to start spewing content into your ear. But I want to start with the question. Today's question is, how are you using your talents? Right? We all have talents. You know what's funny is sometimes we don't even recognize the talents we have, and I try to beat this in everyone's ear every week, is the fact that you probably don't even realize what your super de duper, is that a word? I'll go look that up. Google it. Super de duper. It's probably from Mary Poppins. Anyway, super duper good at. I mean, really excel at, because it's so easy to you, and maybe you do know. And again, I would say, it's an interesting exercise to do, and I did this exercise a long time ago, is write down the things you think you're good at, and then put them aside, and then ask some of your coworkers, and a couple of people have known you a better part of your life, a best friend, and a wife or ex-wife, a spouse, your kids, what they think you're good at, and then ask some of your business partners what they think you're good at. You know what's funny is there'll be a commonality amongst that, and I'm willing to bet there'll be a couple of items that other people will think you're really good at, you might even realize, and you'll think, well, gosh, isn't everybody good at that? No, they're not. That's just it. Everyone's really good at something. So my question comes back to you: how are you using your talents? Think about that. So yesterday we talked about how do you want to feel. So if you're wanting to feel great, and now I'm asking you, how are you using your talents, and you found out what those are, or you know what those are, this is the kind of questions I want to put in your ear, and through the week, you'll be thinking about them and say, you know what? Here's a way I can use my talent. And as you're keeping your eyes open, right, these things will pop up to you, and you'll see them on your radar screen, so to speak, on the horizon, and you'll say, hey, I know how to work with that. I've got this great talent. I could use that. You know, what's funny is I have this passion for public speaking, and I like to use this venue here to let that passion out. And I've spent many 10 years in Toastmasters, and ran a very successful club I can't say I ran it. You don't do it alone. We had a great membership, and I was lucky enough to be elected president 3 or 4 of the 10 years I was there, and we just did awesome things together, and I loved being in front of audiences, small, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, 100 people, up to 1,500 people I've been in front of the audiences, and I just love it. It's a passion of mine. And one of the young ladies I knew way back when is now doing some work, and she's getting ready to create some speaking events for AARP, and she actually reached out to me over Facebook, I believe it was the day before yesterday, and asked me if I'd be interested. She hasn't heard me speak in a long time, unless she's secretly listening to my podcast. Are you listening to my podcast, April? It's possible. And she reached out and asked me, would you be interested? Would it be worth a chat to get you to come give part of these presentations? Because what she said, what made it so funny, is she was looking for a specific, witty, smarty pants kind of guy. Oh my God, I just need Tracy. Was the words that she sent, which was probably her way of being polite and buttering me up for the next question. But anyway, the idea is it's a talent. I know I have it. I'm not as great as some folks. I'm better than others, and I enjoy it. So whenever the opportunity arises, I try to use that talent. What are your talents? What do you like to use? All right, that's enough of that. I'm going to babble on. I mean, not the city, but I'm going to move on to the topic for today is, oh my goodness, are you living in the past? I'm thinking about all the folks and all the things that have happened in our economy since, oh gosh, what is it, 2008? I mean, some of us have gone from having lots of money and living in big houses to maybe living paycheck to paycheck, right? Maybe having to move in with friends or family, or heck, your mom. Not that mom's not family, but you know what I mean? You've gone from one extreme almost to the other. Perhaps you've experienced a loss of a loved one or a relationship that's just kind of devastated you. But in all these trials and tribulations, you've been able to bounce back and continue to strive for the life of your dreams, right? That's one kind of person. However, the other kind is if you found yourself kind of stuck, looking back, over your shoulder, kind of wishfully or even wistfully, thinking about those early years. Oh, I wish it was like it was back then. I wish go back to being that way. And if that's what you're doing a majority of your time, you're probably living in the past, and that's not where you want to be. If you notice, um, you'll still kind of suffer that emotional pain over of wanting it to be like it was, or that emotional pain of whatever upsetting event it was. I mean, if you, like I mentioned earlier, if you've lost someone, you every time you start living in that past, you kind of relive it, and you could make it worse. And it was experienced so long ago. I know I lost a daughter at 16 months old so long ago. I can, if I want to, take myself back to that very day. It's very vivid in my memory. I can relive that day if I want to and feel that pain. Or I can honor her in a completely different way and think of all the things that she taught me in those 16 months. Which would you rather be? It's just one of those things. Are you living in the past or are you learning from it? So it's not bad to learn from the past, right? Go back and live it long enough to learn from it. But here's some clues that you're living in the past. If you think every day about some aspect of how your life used to be, and if you could see me here, I'm doing the air quotes in the air. Maybe you call it nostalgia or simply yearning for yesteryear or yesterday or maybe last month if you just lost your job. Reflecting daily on the past is not helping you move forward. That's not going to happen. Here's another one. If you try to sleep as much as possible in the hopes of dreaming of yesteryear, you're definitely living in the past. You see, when you're living in the past, your dreams are going to take you back to yesterday. But when you're striving for the future, your dreams are going to look forward. So what are you heading for? Are you spending lots of time in front of that computer? Yeah? Keeping yourself busy? Just poking around websites. Oh, let's go listen to 80s music. Go listen to 90s music. Whatever those things were. Maybe you're going to some more taboo type of sites just to keep your mind occupied. Yeah. Maybe there's other methods of escape from reality you're trying. And it could be perfectly good ways. I mean, you could be reading and cleaning, or not so good ways. Drinking, drugs, right? Any of these little things are part of living in the past. Anything that's helping you avoid what the way life is right this very moment. The life you're facing today. Right? So if you're in denial about your current living situation, it's hard to accept. Maybe it's hard to accept it. You no longer have that life partner that you thought you were going to be with the rest of your life, right? Maybe it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, or maybe you no longer live in that home that you thought was going to be where you raised your grandkids or helped raise your grandkids or brought your grandkids in and sent them away after you jacked them up on sugar, whatever it might be, right? Maybe you don't want to rearrange their furniture in the house. Maybe you don't want to get rid of those things of that person, of the things that are around that house that remind you of the person. But should, right? I mean, my father's been gone a few years, and there are things that I have of his that I'll bring out on occasion just to remember him and to honor him. He taught me so many things growing up, and there were so many great things about him. But to leave them out on a daily basis could, if I looked at them the wrong way, bring me down, right? So it's in all how you look at it. So I want you to start. I want you to start living for the here and now, because now we have those kind of 5 ways of. Oh, yep, I'm living in the past. That's not good. I don't want to do that. So let's start looking at some ways where you can start moving forward. Now I kind of share these with you every day, and I don't want to rush through these, but I don't want to suck up all my time, right? But I did blab a lot about your talents, so maybe I'll be my excuse today, right? But to start identifying, that you've identified that, yeah, I'm spending too much time living in the past. That is step one to living in the now. I want you to openly acknowledge to yourself that you've been doing it, right? Hey, I've been doing it. The first step towards healing is acknowledging that, yeah, I need to heal. I've been living in the past, and I'm going to stop doing it today. Don't say you want to, say you're going to. And you will. And you're right. It's a slow boat. It's probably going to turn a little bit slower. But that's the first step. And then decide what you must do to shift your attention to the present. Maybe it's clean out the closets. I don't know. Maybe it's get rid of some of the old possessions of the person you lost or that left you. Maybe it's moving to a new residence. All right? Maybe you need to move and are avoiding it. Sometimes moving forward literally means moving. If you lost your job, perhaps looking for a job outside your area, right? Will take you somewhere new. You'll have new experiences. It will totally take you away. Huh? Maybe it's just getting out of the environment that you see day in and day out and going to a park so that you get away from it. You can feel the weight lifting off your shoulders a little bit. Huh? That way when you go back to it, and the pressure comes back, it's not quite as bad because you've had that relief. Right? The next thing I want you to think about is, what are your life's goals? What is your life's purpose? And you've heard me say it, and I'm going to say it again. If you don't know what your goal or your purpose is, that is now officially your purpose, to find out what your purpose is. So, because when you have that goal or that purpose, that is driving you forward, not back. And when you do look back, it's like a rearview mirror. You're doing it to check some things. Oh, I don't want to do that again. That's a mistake I'm going to learn from, but I'm moving forward. Looking through the big windshield in front of you as you drive down the road of life. How about that for a metaphor, right? And while you're doing all this, you got to take care of yourself. Get up in the morning, strip down, buck naked, no visuals, please, right? Stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself and say, ooh, yeah, wow. That's, ooh, right? Right? Am I right? Unless you're taking care of yourself. And I know a lot of you that listen to this kind of program do take good care of yourself. But maybe there's parts of you that you let go, right? Maybe you're eating well, but you're not exercising. Maybe you're exercising, but you're robbing yourself of some nutrients so your body could use a little bit more. Whatever it may be. Maybe you're doing the exercising and eating, but you're letting your spiritual health die, right? And I don't mean that just in the sense of God or Allah or Buddha or whoever you may believe in, but I mean that in your soul, inside of you, right? Spirit can be just mean getting out and meeting other people and engaging with them. And the social aspect is another side of it, is taking care of yourself, right? Can't be a hermit, right? So what areas do you need to refocus on to get your current mental and physical body and clean up that house, so to speak? And I want you to make, while you're standing in front of that mirror, right? Oh my God, Tracy, look at me, right? I want you to vow to practice special efforts with your feelings, right? I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that to gain an understanding of who I am. Who are you? Because if you don't know, I'm not sure I can help you. I'm not sure anyone can help you. They may help you, guide you down the road to what they want, right? Because that's what people do. You probably work for some of those people, right? I want you to work to gain an understanding of your feelings. Give yourself time to grieve for whatever it is that you're missing from the past. Whatever it is you may have lost. Whatever it is you're yearning for. Maybe that's your purpose. Maybe that's your goal, to get it back. Huh? Or to get some of it back. Because, you may go back, but it'll never be the same. I got to tell you that 100%. I'm so over time now, but we're almost at the end here. I'm going to give you this brief little story. A couple of years back, I went back and I visited Southern California. That was my old stomping grounds, my latter teen years. And let me tell you, in my early 20s too, some of my dark times that I talk about happened in Southern California. There's some, and this is I'm not throwing any disparaging clouds over California at all, but in my experience, I had some of my darkest times in my life in Southern California. So when I went back, I took a drive to some of the shadier areas of my life and visited a couple of the establishments I used to visit. The bars. I'm not going to name any names, but you go down there, and I went in there, and it was the same. Some of them just hadn't changed. I mean, there were different girls working behind the bar and different guys playing pool in the facility, but it was different. And I think that's the key. If you ever do go back, it's going to be different. I can do it in a better way to explain it is, you've heard me talk about cheer any number of times, and my daughter being in competitive cheerleading. But this year, she's not cheerleading. And I went to the past 2 weekends. I've gone to two big cheerleading events. We've moved back out to the Ohio area, and her old cheer gym is out here, and they've just been growing in leaps and bounds. My hat really tips to Miss Tanya Roselle and everything she's done with Midwest Cheer Elite. I mean, this place is just blowing up. She's doing consulting with cheer gyms all over the nation. She opened up a new facility down in Florida, and she's put her blood, sweat, and tears into this and created a family, and she's reaping all the rewards to it. So my hat's off to her. And I loved all the years that we were there, being the crazy cheer dad and being the flag man. And so the past couple of weekends when they were up here in the Columbus area, I offered to break out my old flag and run it for them, because they got I think it's 20 teams, 17 to 20 teams. Anyway, so they were up here, and I ran for every one of the teams this past weekend. And that started at 10 in the morning till about 6 at night. And it was awesome, but it was different. My daughter wasn't there. She was down visiting my niece in Georgia. So you see, I went back to the past, to the old gym, and it was awesome, but it was different. So you can go back if you realize it's different. Okay? So these are the feelings you gotta get an understanding of your feelings. And I'm standing there thinking, this is awesome, but I wish my Shandy was here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, enough about that. So, and here's a couple of last things I want you to walk away with. There may be things going on in your world that you need professional help. And it could be medical help. If you're standing in front of that mirror, like I said, in your undies or buck naked or whatever it is, and you're looking at yourself saying, man, I really let myself go. Get a checkup. Get a checkup periodically. Maybe there's some psychological things going on in your life that you've got to get some perspective on, and you need some help with. Right? I am not a psychologist or psychiatrist. I am not in the mental health industry. Right? I can't give you that kind of guidance. Right? I'm just a guy going through, learning things about this and trying things about that and sharing my insights with you. If you have those kind of needs, find the professional that's going to help you. Find the doctor that's going to help you with your physical needs. Find someone that's going to help you with your mental needs. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Sometimes you just need someone to talk to. If you're going through a tough divorce, or you just lost someone that you love dearly, someone to talk to is huge. Right? So find the help that you need. Maybe it's just a good friend. It may not be a psychiatrist. So how do you feel about that? You know what? I don't know how I feel. Maybe it's just a friend that can just sit there and let you bend their ear for a couple hours, whatever it is, or counselor, whatever it is. Get it, right? Don't deny it. Don't live in the past like that. And then I think the last thing I want you to walk away with is waste no more bloody time. I want you to get up every morning, throw open the blinds, look outside and say, dang, today, I want you to be in awe of the day in front of you. You've got 24 freaking hours that you can do everything to reach your life's purpose. And remember, right? What am I going to say? That's right. If you don't know what your purpose is to find your purpose. You got 24 hours right in front of you the moment you throw up those blinds. You get up out of bed and go, yeah, this day is mine, and I'm taking it for myself. Right? I want you to realize that living in the past is going to rob you of the life you really deserve. Restate your life. Restart your life. Restate those goals. Restate your purpose. And start living the life of your dreams, right? Get out there and start getting everything you dream, desire, and deserve. And with that, way over time, I'm going to leave you with the second free day of Your Success DNA. Come on in tomorrow. We're going to do this all week long, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm probably going to run overtime each and every day because I want to show you the kind of content I'm giving you every single day around here. All right? Until then, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Think successfully. Take action.